大家好，欢迎来到看跨境就阿米的阿米秀。我们今天呢继续我们非洲电商之旅。我们今天呢请到了Jumia的国际电商部的 CEO. Hey guys, welcome back to Ami Show. Today we will continue to look at the e-commerce platform of Africa. We now have the global CEO from Jumia's global e-commerce, Fanny. Welcome, Fanny.
Welcome, thank you.
Nice to meet you. I heard that you have spent a lot of years and days and times in Africa. Actually, we can say you are the founder of the Jumia. But in the past few years, we heard a lot of news from Jumia, good, positive, some medium things, or we heard a lot of things from Jumia. But right now, you came back to us. You came back on the stage. You came back on the street. You came back on the spotlight. What happened? What happened in these past few years?
Look, I think we enter market as pioneer, for e-commerce. And as any people building something from scratch, we have to learn. And it takes time to learn.
Yeah.
It's not easy going market.
Yeah.
So what's happened, it's simple. We were humble to look back a bit on what we've done in the first years of our development there.
Yeah.
And we just said, okay, let's work harder and harder and harder. And when you work harder and you're really focused on what you're doing, I think sometimes you can forget a bit about the media, to show off. Now I think we feel that we're very strong and we're ready for a second growth pathway.
Yeah.
And that's why you can see us a bit more, I would say.
I love this word, humble. Yeah, we say humble. There's something I really want you to have your opinions, right? Because you have spent almost 6-8 years in Africa. In Jumia, there is a lot of countries, different countries. In these countries, you have different problems. Even the sellers, they would raise a lot of questions or problems for you. How do you handle all these problems? Because you have countries in Nigeria, Egypt, and you are extending more, Kenya. So how do you handle this problem? Because for sellers, they are thinking, okay, I'm entering Jumia, but you're asking me to join different countries.
True.
So what's the difference and how do you handle it?
So the way we handled it so far was first to really listen to our market and make sure also the way we build our team that we are surrounded by people who know the market, you know. So this is, I think, the first strength that we have is to make sure we understand what is going there, we understand the final consumer, and so what we're going to bring to him or to her is relevant. Then, of course, for the sellers here, it's different because we don't ask them to understand each market or the way they can go. It's not we want to help them. We want to be an enabler. So what we're trying to do is to be as much as possible agnostic, country agnostic, to make sure that for the sellers it's easy. Wherever it's going to sell, it's going to be the same process, same point of contact. So we're trying to do this as much as possible. Our technology today is not still yet perfect, I would say. We have still a lot of hard work to put in it. But very soon, in 6 months now, for example, we're going to have one unique portal for the sellers to manage all the countries without any specificities per countries. And I think this is a big step up compared to what we offer so far. So yeah.
A few days ago when I told my friends or seller friends that I'm going to interview the lady from Jumia, they asked me to give me one long list. All right, let me find some of them for you.
Sure.
Okay, which country is the best?
Very difficult question.
Exactly.
No, I mean our leading market, leading countries is Nigeria for now. This is where we put the most of our effort. And yes, it's it's the first country also we enter, so it's our historical country. And it's a big potential as well. So I would say that it's not the best, it's the biggest.
And what's the second favorite country?
The biggest country after Nigeria, is Egypt is a big market for us. Yeah, Egypt is a big market. We have Kenya as well, which is a big market.
Okay, these three countries, let's say Nigeria, Egypt, and Kenya. What's the difference between them? In the customers or habits or price or categories or delivery or payment. Anything difference between them?
Yeah, our consumers are very different from one country to another. So I would have another big list.
Okay, I'll get one of them. I'll get one of them
to share.
Right.
But no, I think it's also what we build in this country, which is different. I would say, for example, in Egypt, they have a big spike in fashion. So the fashion category is very strong. And I think also, this is one of our spike in Egypt. This is something that we still haven't fine-tuned, I would say, in Kenya, for example, where we're much more focus on mobiles and TV, where I think we're very competitive today, and electronics in general.
Yeah.
And then in Nigeria, I mean, it's a good mix of both. I think the team there, like, were able to manage both in a good way. So it's for example, this is one of the differences. Then in terms of consumer, I would say here we've done the work in the same way. Like, we target a very large type of customers, not focusing only on a specific type. So it goes from the student to the upper class, and in the middle you have, of course, all the middle class that we target, and because thanks to very good price first, I would say, like, it's allow us to reach this kind of customers. And yes, and this we have done it in a consistent way, I would say, in the 3 countries.
All right. Okay. Second thing is they always want to ask the most, what type of product to be best sell on your platform?
It's a very good question. It's a very good question because I always also challenge the sellers and ask the same question.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you work with sellers who are selling already on platforms such as AliExpress or Amazon, like, we also have a lot to learn from them.
Which one is the best sales, or which one is the most potential one?
Yeah. In terms of products?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's all about prices. So,
prices.
Yeah. So you pick any products behind €5. I mean, for sure, like, if it's the right price is compared to what you can find on the market.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna win. You're gonna win. People, they love, they love to consume. Like, we love it. Me, I love it. Like, I spend hours, like, searching products, and I love to buy, like, in a compulsive way.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm thinking 10 times before to buy. I want to buy as a hobby, like, like something you want to do.
You love
for
shopping,
fun. Exactly, for fun.
Yeah.
So fun is not with like a 20 USD product. Fun is with 1 USD, 2 USD, 5 USD, and large, big diversity in terms of categories. I want to buy a dress, I want to buy like something for my nails, I want to buy electronics, and this is the strength, I think, of Jumia cross-border business is to be able to bring this diversity on the assortment that today, with our local sellers, it's a bit capped, right? Yeah. We rely only on what we can find in the countries. Yeah. And the strength of our sellers here, based in China, is they have everything. So they can push everything. Exactly. If they price well, it's going to go.
So price is the key point. Okay, don't ask me which category. Price is the key category. All right, number 3 question. Is there any tools or data analysis you can help us to manage the account? Because, sellers now they will make decisions based on data analysis. Yeah. And what kind of things you will provide to sellers?
Thanks a lot for this question, because we learn a lot again from the cross-border business. Our local sellers, usually the way we're managing them was to give them the information from peer to peer. They have this manager working with them at Jumia, and it was more informal exchange. Yeah. They didn't need like super accurate data to take decision, because they were on the market, so it's easier for them, of course. Yeah. But with our sellers here, we realized that,
we need real-time data.
Exactly, they're experts. They know how to crunch the data. They need this data. So we developed what we've called Seller Coach, which is basically all the data you need on your account, on your shop, to allow you to basically take the decision. It's going to be live in 6 months now. We are in Feb, actually 4 months, end of June.
It's already running.
It's already like on development phase. So you should have it, and as soon as you're gonna have it, for sure you're gonna be the first we're gonna give it to you.
Wow, that's a big gift for us.
Right. And something else in the meantime, we are also on another side giving value-added service and selling like our information, also like general information, of course, not the sellers. This is his own property, but in general, like a volume of traffic per categories. Like if the sellers want to answer the question 2, which was which category, is gonna be able also
which category is the most.
Yeah, and I would be able to basically have the information about the top search name on the website, about what are the top traffic categories, all these kind of things. For few money, they would be able to buy it. Okay. And this is live already.
Great. This is a great help, the seller now, they make decisions on the real-time data. They will know how to analyze and get the conclusion according to their own situation. I know that you will give us monthly report, but it's a bit late. Now you give me real-time data. Wonderful. All right. Another list from long list. Yeah. How can I get from the new sellers, new beginners to become a professional sellers in Jumia? What should I do? what should I do, and what kind of instruction I should learn from Jumia?
I think it's one, to assess your assortment, doing a self-assessment, and of course you can be helped by our team.
Yeah.
To know, do you have today the right product at the right price? Again,
yeah.
we'll
Price.
go back there again.
Price.
And this we can help you because we know very well what is selling on the ground in the market. So we can tell you, look, this product I think is wrongly priced, and let me help you to price it better. So this is the first thing, is a self-assessment of what you have to offer on the market.
Know yourself.
Yeah. Second is to make sure you have enough visibility. I mean, today we have millions of SKUs on our platforms. What is important to make sure is that your product have visibility. And you have different levels of this. One, participate to the open campaign that are running on a like monthly basis. We have marketing campaigns. And second is you can also buy what we call a mabaya, which is basically a promoted product, sponsored product, that would allow you to maybe test one super deal that you have to push it up to the page. So this is the second advice, is to manage your visibility and be proactive on this. And on the third part is to be operationally like excellent. As I've said, like earlier, like Africa is still an early stage market for e-commerce, correct? Like we are operating for 6 years, 7 years. Yeah. But I mean, 7 years is just still young, right?
Just a teeny, no, just baby, still a baby.
Exactly. So I think we're able in these last 7 years to build trust with the customer. But we still have to give proof. You know, it's like in a marriage, you know, in a wedding. You like you give love at the beginning, but you still have to.
You can reverse with marriage.
Exactly. You need to keep love up and make sure that the trust is still there. So it's very important for us when we tell the sellers, we promise you that you're going to be delivered on this time, that it arrives on this time. And this is what I call operationally excellent, is to make sure that you respect like the SLA that we put in place together.
You know, why I ask these questions, because I want to know what's the difference. I mean, the operation model, what's different from Jumia and the other platforms in Europe or Africa, Americans. Actually, what is there any difference? Like Lazada, like Amazon, eBay, or AliExpress, is there any difference operating?
No, we're trying to make it as pure as possible, but then being humble again, of course we don't have yet the same kind of product in terms of technology. We still have a lot to do, a lot of efforts to put into this to be at the same level, but we're aiming to do so. So all our operation model is something that is similar to what the seller could find on this kind of platform. Yeah.
You know, why I asked this question is because from 2015 until now, there were 35 different cities was named by the government from the minister that they were the cross-border e-commerce special distributor. So in this area, the government will put money, resource, and everything to support the development in the local cities. Let's say Guangzhou, Shenzhen is already well developed, but there is about 20 or 25 cities, they are still unknown. And for them, just like the freshman, okay, you put this freshman into the battlefield in Europe, in America, they will be killed, they will slaughter. But in Jumia, maybe it's a good time for them to learn from you. And how do you like that? How do you feel?
I mean, I love it. I think it's very good because our expertise was to groom some new sellers, young sellers, online, of course, e-commerce sellers. So it's something we have in our expertise, in our DNA, you know, like to help this kind of sellers to develop themselves. And if Jumia can be for them like a, let's say like a trampoline, like a training course, I would be very happy to help on this. Like I think it's very good.
Actually, it's a conflict, you know, according for your own profit, you want to get the GMV to be grow as much faster as possible because it's for your good. But the new beginners and or freshmen, they need time and maybe some of them quick. So one of the last question, but not the end. How do you balance between the big sellers and the premier sellers, young sellers? You know, young sellers always don't have excellent operation. They try to learn from you, but they're the potential of your future. And the big sellers, they have everything.
Any big sellers have been young sellers at some point. So I think, it's also like talent research. And we have a screening, which is, I think, a good screening now on early stage sellers. And we have also mechanisms that help us automatically to drop any sellers that would harm the platforms and the customer experience. So for us, it's not such a big investment at the beginning to just give his chance to a small seller. And it's completely different of what we're doing for our big sellers. Of course, the big sellers, you would have much more privilege and much more like attention from us. But we can still keep this pipe in, and open for like young sellers. As I said, like for me, like any big sellers has been small at some point. And I think it's something we want to invest on. Really, like it's something our long tail sellers, we take care a lot about it.
Okay, I love this one. You take care of them. You love them. Why I ask this question? Because many of the sellers in China right now, they lost money from other platforms because they feel you don't love me anymore. They make money from there, but right now many of the sellers are looking for new opportunities. So my last question, I heard that Jumia is almost to be IPO. All right. So what kind of the benefits Jumia is about to release, or what kind of the gift you are going to give them, the new sellers or the present sellers, and what's your plan in the coming few years?
We don't want to comment on this for now because it's still under preparation. So we don't want to share any information.
But it's a good news.
Yeah, of course it's a good news.
So whatever happened after IPO from Jumia, they will release a lot. They will give us a lot of gifts. This is for sure.
A lot of good news are coming.
But she cannot tell us what is it. So it's Christmas, all right? It's Christmas Eve. You never know what is it, right? All right. Thank you, Fanny. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, many of the sellers in China, even people not in the e-commerce, they don't know anything about the e-commerce in Africa. Thank you for sharing this information and congratulations for your pre-IPO things. And I'm looking forward that we can have more conversation and share more information about your company and your Jumia and your life.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for inviting me, and I'm very happy. Thanks for letting me time to explain and give chance to business like e-commerce in Africa.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and thank you, Jen. Thank you, Fanny. And let's see what will happen in Africa e-commerce in the coming days when IPO of Jumia.
Thanks.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye, bye bye。
良心推荐 ，Sky 包年收款套餐，全年免费收款，只需每年1666元，找米哥专享米粉优惠。